Thanks, David. Good afternoon. We just left a team meeting and a team luncheon where Coach Hoke had the first opportunity to address his team. And the energy level was high. It was a terrific experience to be a part of that. There were also a few reunions going on, a lot of former relationships and acquaintances being renewed, and it was a terrific experience, I think, for our team as well as for all of us who were involved. 1 week ago, I was in this room and I indicated that it was my plan to conduct a national search for the next football coach at the University of Michigan. I accomplished my goal in the last week of testing the market and putting myself in a position to be able to select the very best leader for Michigan football to ensure an exciting and successful future for our players, our students, and our fans. I believe I have done exactly what I set out to do in the selection of Brady Hoke as Michigan's head football coach. But the two that I want to highlight particularly for you that will tell you a lot about Brady Hoke are, number one, his love for this football program and his intense desire to compete for this job. And secondly, his reputation as a coach who can take a program over, recruit great players, and wins because his players want to play for him. He is clearly a player's coach. Unlike some other coaches, it's not about him. It's about his players and it's about his team. Brady understands Michigan and what football means here. He has lived it as a coach and he knows what it takes to be successful. He doesn't have to learn the words to the victors. He's sang it many times in the locker room. This is a special guy who can do great things for Michigan football. I called Brady yesterday morning, West Coast time, after I chased him down and asked him to be our coach. He immediately accepted, and I'm thrilled he's with us here today to start his first day of work. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased and proud to introduce the head football coach of the University of Michigan, Brady Hoke.
Like Dave said, we had quite the night flying across country, and I can promise you we would have walked to the University of Michigan. I got some people I want to thank, obviously, as part of what you do as a coach and the things that have happened in your career. And number one, I want to thank Dave and President Coleman for having that confidence and having the vision for the University of Michigan and the leadership that they both have shown. And it's something that I think everyone in this community, everyone who's been part of this great tradition and the legacies, I think they all understand what Michigan football is and what it always will be. We understand one thing. You know, we've got a special guy in Denard, and he is a guy that can do an awful lot for your football program, and I know he loves the University of Michigan. I got to spend about 15 minutes with him, and we're going to spend a little more time together. But, you know, I think that when you have talented players, it's your job as a coach to mold that into what's best for your football team, and most of the time when you do that, it's what's best for that player.
Michigan's lost to their main rivals, it seems, in the last few years. Could you talk a little bit about the rivalries and just
Sure.
what your thoughts are on the last couple of years?
You want to win them, and you want to prepare to win them, and they've got to be front and center of what you want for your program. You're never going to please everybody, and that is one thing I really don't care about. You know, we're going to make decisions, and we're going to do things that are for the best for this program and these kids on this team.
Stability is something that this school is looking for in this position, and you've obviously professed your love for this
Sure.
school and this job. Is this where you want to be forever?
Yes, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, this is, to me, has been, and for a long time, the ultimate place where I wanted to be as a football coach. I was fortunate enough when Coach Moeller hired me, and fortunate enough to be here for eight years. And believe me, it was 8 great years, and you know, this place means an awful lot to us because of what it stands for as a university.
What do you anticipate being the biggest challenge that you're going to face from now on?
Well, I don't know if I look at any of it as challenging. I look at it as this is what you do as a football coach. You know, the connection with the players, the opportunity to do something you love with a group of guys that you build those relationships and you love doing. I mean, yeah, is there work to do? Yeah, do we have to finalize the staff? Do we have to make sure our winter conditioning's in order and where we're going with that? Get spring ball. We got to finish the recruiting end of it. I mean, there's all those parts of it, but you know, that's fun. I mean, that's football, and it's fun to do it, and it's fun to be around those kids. And you know, I know our staff is going to be a staff of high character that care about kids, and it's great working with people like that. Believe me, we will be busting our hind ends to get guys that are going to represent this program and fit the character and the models of what we want in this program.
People nationally have said that this isn't an elite job anymore. Why, in your mind, is this still an elite job?
Who says that? And I'm being serious.
People on ESPN have said it.
You know, God bless them. You know, they got a job to do, and they have an opinion that they might have. But this is an elite job, and will continue to be an elite job. This is Michigan, for God's sakes. We're going to have a pride in who we are. And was it Todd? What's your name? Jordan. But Jordan said, you know, about people thinking that Michigan is on a downward spiral or doesn't have that national acclaim. Shame on them. And shame on them if it's people who are Michigan people. Because everyone who's going to touch this program and deal with these kids are going to have a fanatical love for the University of Michigan, or they won't work in the football office. I can tell you that. When your whole sense is to help develop kids in academic, social, and a competitive athletic standpoint, and that's what you look at and that's what you lean on, then those players are going to understand that you really care. And I can promise you that's what we care the most about. We expect, and you know, we've won 42 Big Ten championships. Well, the goal every year, and I've told the players, the expectation is to win the Big Ten championship. And that's where it starts. And if we don't do that, we got to retool it, refix it, do whatever we have to do, because we're going to do that for Michigan.
You've referenced a couple of times that school in Ohio. I wonder how deep your passion for that rivalry runs, and how quickly do you think is fair for Michigan to be competitive with Ohio State again?
Well, you know, I think that rivalry is special. It's like none other in football. Being engaged in that battle for 8 years and growing up in the state. I mean, you knew, you know, Bo and Woody and great fights they had. And it is the most important game on that schedule. And not that the others aren't important, but it is the most important game on that schedule, and how we play the game and how we prepare. So, Bob, it's very important to me. If you don't have that self-imposed drive and competitiveness and again, a mental toughness to prepare your guys in the right way, to do all the things that is encompassed in being a football coach, I mean, that should be where the pressure is, you know, in your drive to do that. You know, I know one thing, our kids are going to be prepared. I know that they're going to play, and they're going to be a tough group of guys, and they're going to be guys who play with an outstanding effort, you know, and they're going to be accountable to each other. He offered me the job yesterday morning, and immediately accepted the job. Like I said, we'd have walked here, San Diego. Now, getting up the Rockies would have been a little difficult, but we could have figured that out.
Drew Sharp, Detroit Free Press.
Yeah, Drew.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
You've been talking a lot about how the objectives of this program are winning conference championships. But
Yeah.
I have not heard the word national championship mentioned here
Right.
at all tonight. Shouldn't that be the ultimate objective for a program,
No.
which is to be a national elite program?
Nope, because if you don't win your conference championship, you don't have a chance to go after the next one.
True, but in other conferences in this country, winning the conference, if you're not winning the national championship, a conference title is considered basically a consolation prize.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I've got, I think, 5 Big Ten championship rings, a national championship ring, and I can tell you, they mean an awful lot to us, and I know those guys in the back, they mean an awful lot to. And I understand exactly what you're saying, Drew, but I can tell you, if you don't win your conference championships, there's no way in heck you're going to win the national championship. Okay?
So that's the ultimate goal, though, that you consider the ultimate goal.
I didn't say that.
You know,
I told you our goal is to win the Big Ten championship. Multiply. Consecutively.
Multiple?
I made that word up. So first you'll get used to
I'll
it.
cut you slack on that
I
one,
do
okay.
that. I do that once in a while. I'm good in Scrabble.
I made the decision. I made the decision that I wanted Brady Hoke, and I called him at the first earliest opportunity, and made the offer, and he accepted it, and we never talked about what he was going to be paid. The only guy I've ever heard of that took a job without knowing what it paid was named Schembeckler. Now we're paying him. We got to it eventually. But I want you to know, this is a guy who loves this place. What you see is what you get with Brady Hoke. He loves this place. He wants to be here. And I had a lot of things that I rated as being extremely important. But at the top of the list, I wanted a coach who wanted to be here, loved this place, and was willing to do everything he needed to do within the bounds of the rules to be successful. We're going to go to work for Michigan. And those people out there who love this place and care about this place and understand this place, they're going to love this football coach, and they're going to love the way this team plays. This game is about the players. Yeah, we need fans. We want fans. Yeah, you're all important. We need the coverage that you bring and the visibility you bring. But this is about football players. This is about changing young men's lives. This is about bringing leadership in here who makes a difference in the lives of young men. And they leave here with a championship ring, and they leave here with a great education, and they go out and do great things in life. That's Michigan. Michigan men do that. They create other Michigan men. And the guy you've just met is all about that. He's all about that. And he didn't spend as much time with a PR machine as others may. And he may not be, he may not be dressed up and polished and the Toastmaster General like other people. And I don't care. I want a football coach. I want a football coach who's going to do with these young men what we want them to do. Teach them what they need to learn and win. That's Michigan. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Go Blue.